Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different type of video. We're going to be doing a how to plan for Christmas type video. Now, I know that you're all thinking, oh God, it's too late for Christmas. No, it's never too late. You still have time. You have about a month and 5 days. Or a month and 10 days. That's plenty of time if you start right now and you don't know what to get your family. Okay? Now, I have some things here that I've written down. And the first thing is educate yourself. Now, for the fountain pen people, you know, if you're trying to buy someone a fountain pen, the best advice that I can give you is go on YouTube and watch, you know, as many of the fountain pen 101 videos as you can to learn as much as you can about different types of pens, what kind of filling mechanisms they have, what kind of paper they do well with, the size of the things, you know, how much they weigh. If you're shopping for a smaller person, or a larger person, you know, what kind of pens go well with those types of people. There's a million different videos on a million different types of pen, ink, paper combinations. Okay, so pen, ink, and paper. Those are the main three. Well, we're going to talk about some other things. So, where do you get pen, ink, and paper? If you're looking for a pen, and you don't want to spend $1 million on a pen, my first instinct is to go to wish.com. And you can get pens as low as free plus $3 shipping. Well, that's just for the ink. But if you get, you know, say a red pen, it's like $3 with $3 shipping. That's $6 for an extra fine Lamy style pen. This would be considered like a Lamy Safari, Lamy Vista, you know, ABS plastic with an extra fine rainbow nib. And they are scratchy. So, you know, take that for what it is. This pen here is $1.73. Look how beautiful it is. And, you know, they have hooded nibs and dip pen nibs and, you know, all metal pens. By the way, this Jinhao X250 is very heavy. So, unless you have a friend with a very solid grip, I wouldn't advise getting him this pen. This is a Wing Sung 3003. I would not advise getting this because it's a very cheap pen. So go through your videos and look at what different people have and see if any of them come close to one of these. If you're looking for paper, CVS Caliber notebook. I have one right here. It's 6 by 4 inches, and it's $1.49. This is probably the best paper for a beginner fountain pen user. You can get bigger ones than this, but if for a beginner size, you know, give them something to write with. Give them some ink. Now, where do you get the ink? You can get ink and pens from Jet Pens, or Paper World, or Anderson Pens, or Goulet, Pen Boutique, you know, and, you know, that's basically where you get pens and ink and stuff like that. So, if you're looking for ink, that's great. What would I recommend for a beginner? Now, you could be like me, and you could have a couple of bottles, or when you go around this time to Goulet Pens, they offer, sometimes if you buy a pen, you'll get a free 30 ml bottle of ink. Now, how much is 30 ml? That, maybe this is a little let's see, what does this say? This is 30 mils. This is 30 mils of ink, which means that this is about 30 mils of ink. And it's a lot of ink. I've had this for almost a year. This is yellow food color, of course, but I've had this for 3 months, 4 months almost. I've had this for over a year now. I've had this for almost a year now, and like I barely scratched the surface. So my advice isn't to buy a bottle of ink. Go on Goulet.com. Go on Goulet.com and go to ink. And if you don't know what you're getting, take a look at the ink samples. And if you're not sure about what ink samples that you want, get a sample package set. And you can get samples of what they look like. Or what you can do is you can go on the ink and then you can get random samples. And you can get 8 ink samples for $9. Now this is what I've bought 3 of these, and I've been not disappointed, but not real happy about it. You know what I'm saying? So you might be happy with some, you might not, but it's always a risk, especially when you're buying inks that you don't know what you want. But if you do know what you want, you can go on to Browse All Ink Colors, and you can go and look at the ink that you want. Let's see if I can figure it out. Ink samples. Go to ink samples, and then you can do by color or by brand. If you know what brand you might like, you can do a shimmer ink or not. Goulet is really the best for samples. I mean, choice-wise. But if you find what you want here, the problem with Goulet is they only give you 2 mil sample. Jet Pens sometimes gives you a 4 mil sample. Anderson Pens always gives you a 3 mil sample. So get the most for your mil. Find what you want on Goulet and then search in the search bar for whatever it is and see if you can get it for a cheaper deal. And if you can't, Goulet is a wonderful company. They package their stuff up real well. They'll even send you a lollipop. So, and they come in little vials like this. Now, this is Noodler's Blue Nose Bear. I got this as a gift from someone. This is a 6 mil sample bottle, if it's filled all the way up to the top. But if it's just filled up to this line here, it's 5 mils. And that is a lot of ink. That will last you for a pretty long time. So, try and get an ink sample. As for types of pens, get a cheap pen. This was an X450 for like $3. Let me see. Yeah, you can go on Wish.com and get an X450 for as low as $3, which that's a pretty good deal. And the X450 comes in many shapes and sizes and colors. Jenna has a wonderful line of pens that are nice to write with, and they're relatively inexpensive. And they come in a rainbow assortment of colors, and they're as low as for free, or like $2 plus shipping and handling. And if you don't know what size you want, you can pick a size. That's the great thing. And they're like $1. So you pick what size you want. If you don't know which size you want, I would start with, a 0.5, which is about a medium. Or you can do even a 0.7, which is like a broad. And then if you find that your friend's into calligraphy, maybe you could get them a bigger one, 2.5. And I'm as low as $1 and $2 for shipping. I mean, that's a really good deal. So, I mean, the Jinhao 992 is one of my favorite pens. I mean, I am using them mostly all the time. This is a Jinhao 51A. It is a brand new-ish type pen for Jinhao, but it resembles the Parker 51, which is a vintage pen style. So, and there are so many options out there. So just try and, get an idea of what you might like. This is the This is the 07. Let's see. This is the 1. This is the 1.1. This is a 1.5. And they get smaller and bigger. So just take that into consideration. The other consideration that you have to make is what type of filling mechanism that you want. If you're gonna, or if you want a pull cap, they come with a pull cap, or they sometimes comes with an unscrew cap, or and you just gotta kind of try each of them out. So, the types of fillers. This is a cartridge converter. You can either do a cartridge converter, or you can do a squeeze converter, which this has a little bladder on the inside. You dip it in, you squeeze it, you let go. You squeeze it, you let go. You squeeze it, you let go. Till it's pretty much full. Or you can do a piston converter, which means you dip the pen in, you undo all the air, and then you suck up the ink through the nib into the section. So here are some pens. This is the pen that I do not recommend buying for people who are new to fountain pens. Do not get them a TWSBI Eco T. They're complicated. You need a tool to disassemble them. They need to be maintained. You might not want to buy them an aerometric converter because you can't clean on the inside of it. You can sometimes they're connected, you can't get it off. They're not great. I wouldn't advise getting someone but Lambutao comes with everything is disassemblable by hand. You don't need a tool. All you have to do is use your fingers, which in my book that's a win. See? So, and these are Lamy style nibs. You can go on a website and find other types of Lamy nibs and put them on there. They might need like a little squeezing or hemming or hawing there, but This is a Wyren 401 with an extra fine, just like the one I showed you on Wish.com. Comes with a proprietary, can only be used with the Wyren converter. And it's very nice and smooth and works very well with this pen. Just be careful if you're going to buy a Lamy or a Wyren that you don't lose this little piece right here because I lost mine and now it has a gap right here and it just went right down the drain. The other thing that I'm going to suggest buying for your people, if you're going to decide to buy them a fountain pen, is to buy them one of these. This is a drain guard. You can find them at the 99-cent store or at a hardware store. And if your thing doesn't go in, you can always put it above. So, buy your friends a drain guard. That has saved me so much money. I can't tell you. Another thing that you can buy is a bulb syringe. This helps for cleaning. You fill it with water, and then you stick it in the butt end of the section, of the grip section, and you squeeze water through the section to push out all the ink down the drain. You can also buy your new pen friend some Pen Flush if you decide that you're going to use some sort of permanent style ink to give them, even though I don't recommend it. You can get them a small bottle of ammonia. That helps. Or you can even buy them, a bottle of Palmolive. 'Cause this is what I use to clean my pens. You might want to buy them some Dixie cups, because I take my nib and feed out and put them in the Dixie cup and let them soak. And then I just put that by the sink while they're soaking, so that way I don't have to do a whole lot of cleaning. I just run it under the sink and then shove it back in the pen and I'm ready to go. So, the other thing that I find very useful that was a gift to me from pen friend Chris is this thing. What is this thing? It's a rubber band. And if you go to your local market and you go over to the meat section, sometimes if they have them, they'll have some lobsters. And you can ask your local market fish people if you can have a lobster rubber band. And they will usually give them to you if you ask them to, or if they have any. Or you can just use a regular rubber band to, do that with. How does this work? Okay, well, you take your pen, and you put the little lobster grip around the nib feed, and you pull. Simple as that. One thumb above, one thumb below, and you find the right orientation and shove it back in. Simple as that. Voila. Okay, what's next? The drain stopper, Palmolive, a pen holder. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can go out and you can buy, your friends a pen holder. But if you go out and you make your friends a pen holder, say out of a block of wood, and you drill a hole in it, you can make all types of really cool pen holder style things that your friends can use. And they're brilliant, and every one of them are going to be different. You can even go and buy them online. I'm not sure of where to buy them currently. Goulet has some very strange ones. Things like that. The last thing, and the reason that I made this last is because it's a little bit controversial. So, we're going to take a look at the Wish setting for this. And these are syringes. Now, what in the world would you need syringes for? Okay, they're just like this. Okay? They're just like this. And what I use them for is to fill the ink cartridges directly. You can also buy the blunt tip needles online. blunt tip needles, and you can get those on Wish.com also. And they come in a multitude of sizes. And you can get them for free. So, oh dear. So if you're gonna buy a syringe, just be aware and tell them, what's going on, or show them a video, or take them and sit them down and be like, look, you can take, and you take this part off, and then you take this part off, you undo the thing all the way, and then you take your holder, you put that in your holder, you take your ink, fill this with ink, and then you take and you put that in there, fill it up, and then you reinsert this little bit into here, and then you screw it up just a little bit until you see a little bead forming right there, then you put that back on, and then you start writing with it. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope that this was helpful. If there is anything else that you can find or think of that might go well for a person to use for Christmas, please leave that in the comment section below. I'd be excited to know about it. If you're looking to buy these things, the most versatile of them all is basically the Jinhao 992s, and you can get them for basically free. And friggity frag. And you can get them basically for free, which is brilliant. And you can get them in a multitude of sizes. Free plus $3 shipping. Now, I don't know anywhere in the world... Oh gosh, my thing is being stupid. I'm so sorry, you guys. So, I don't know if there's anywhere else in the world that has cheaper, pen stuff, but these are brilliant. And I highly recommend Wish.com for buying cheap pens. And I love my Jinhao 992s, and I think that the person that you give them to will like them too. And you can also make them into an eyedropper. This has the converter taken out of it, and there's a little O-ring right here that connects to the grip section, and you just fill it with ink, and voila, Bob's your uncle. So, I hope that was helpful to some of you. That is all for today. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Okay, love you, bye. Crap, I did forget to comment on one other thing. Storage. I almost forgot to comment on storage. Now, everyone in the pen community is totally gonna yell at me right now, but this is what I'm working with. I know, it's fine, I know, it's terrible. But I have all of my pens in a bucket. If you don't want to put your friend's pens in a bucket, you can also go online to one of the websites and see about finding some sort of pen holder or pen sleeve, or maybe you can even make one. I mean, they're not difficult to make. A little bit of sewing involved, and you can make them, out of terry cloth or leather or anything. I mean, if I was to take, piece of terry cloth, I would just maybe wrap it up like this. sew it over, and then that would be a roll cloth, and you could put, 3 or 4 in there. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. That's all for right now. Have a great day. I love you. Bye.